Is understanding and learning about relationships and learning about life, is that not part of the teaching process that kids could go through?
Of course it is, but there's many things that, you know, in life that you could also say that they need to learn about.
Like what?
Like, you know, the dangers.
Which they do learn about at school, don't they?
Yeah.
Not to a greater depth, and also to do with different opinions.
The dangers of what, sorry?
So the dangers of life, so like what I was saying about murders and rapists and everything in life. I think personally, children are not there for you to brainwash into what your personal opinions are of what makes good relationships just because it's real life.
Do you not think we live in such a diverse nation and in our towns and in our villages that the school is going to be able to give such a great representation of that, potentially more than you could?
No, not at all. I'm the parent. I know my child. I know what my child is capable of. Why would a school's opinion be more than mine? I'm not saying that I would go around teaching everyone's children, but my child, it's up to me, for my child to... So I understand my child. Why would I need a school to be teaching my child anything other than what I send my child to school
I don't
for?
dispute that it is a parent's right to choose what they go to school for and how you educate them, how you raise them. Absolutely, that is it. But I think you're doing your child a disservice by not allowing them to have that education, to see that families come in all different shapes and sizes. We live in such a diverse time.
They're going to see it, aren't they? Because they're going to be children at
Gay
school
people
who
are
have
everywhere. This is the
parents who
problem,
are.
right? So you're going to be removing them from that situation. However, there is going to be... they're going to get on a bus and that bus driver is going to be gay. They're going to be served food in a restaurant by a gay woman. A gay person may be delivering your child's baby one day.
But
we are everywhere.
But what makes you think that, because I'm not saying that the school should do it, what makes you think that my child is going around in a world thinking that nobody is gay? Or I never said that I would not teach my child gay. I'm Christian, so we have our own ways of teaching about the world. It's not about living in a vacuum. It's not about saying that, you know, this person doesn't exist. It's nothing like that. It's our opinions of the world around us. So when you're saying that they get on a bus and they meet a bus driver that's gay, or the person that delivers them are gay, or whatever, yes, they are aware of it. I didn't say that I was going to ignore the fact that
I think the danger here...
I'm just saying whose opinion about what is right. You're saying it's a diverse world. It's very diverse. It's always been diverse. But I grew up where it was still very much diverse, but I wasn't told what the school thought was okay.
I'm concerned that the dangers here are taking a child out of this. You are, from the get-go, making them think this is not right, this isn't normal, this is wrong. I'm not disputing what you would teach them at home at all.
And even by removing them from that class, there's a suggestion that you don't think that that's...
I would have loved to have had
Is it what they're taught
them.
and by whom that's... I'm telling me, who decides at what age children should learn different things? I think maybe that's part of your concern, isn't it? That there's an age appropriateness
so my son is 5 years old.
They're going to be very little, some of them, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. He's 5. But he's living and breathing 2 dads, right? This is his normal. And his friends, he goes into school, his friends don't even... Homophobia is taught, OK? You're not born with it. What you are born with is your sexual preference. You know, you are gay or you're not. I mean, you're shaking your head.
No,
you don't think that's true?
I don't agree with that. I mean,
you don't agree that you're born
No, I don't agree with that you're born, you know, anything.
So can
no,
you
it's a choice?
No, of course I believe it's a choice. I've made a choice on what I think is right or wrong. I don't remember ever, you know, thinking to myself, am I gay, am I straight? It's something that I have done based on how I believe. So even if I was gay, I do personally believe, based on my belief, that I feel that a heterosexual relationship is the right course of action for me. I'm not saying that you don't, but no one has forced you to be in a gay relationship. So, but no one has forced you.
Yeah.
This is a decision that you have made.
It's not a decision. It's not a decision.
Anybody
I was born
making a
this
decision.
way.
No, it's not race, it's not age, it's a preference.
So when did you come out as straight?
I didn't come out as straight.
Well, there you go. You were born that way. You were born that way.
No, I haven't born that way. There's no
you
gene
were.
that has determined that I'm heterosexual. The point of the matter is,
So, Izzy,
it's not about removing my child. It's about a school inflicting this. Can you tell me, where is the public crisis for this? What has happened that has resulted in schools having to enforce this on children? What has happened?
So
Are we opening our front doors and people are dying? What has happened that this needs to be done?
Exactly that. We're living in the craziest world and we need to bring people together this time, not push people apart. And I think teaching children about all the different types of families that are out there. You've got a man living down the road raising his daughters on his own. no one's batting an eyelid, but you put two men together and there seems to be an issue there, and I think that needs looking at.
Who has this issue? I don't have this issue.
There's definitely still an issue.
But who? Where are the figures? Please tell me, where is the public crisis?
So you're saying that there isn't the homophobia that this needs to conquer. What would you do if one of your children said they were gay?
I mean, again, that's to do with my beliefs. So you have to look at this from my perspective, that it's not about being gay. There's two things to this. There's the feelings of being gay, where you say, well, I have an attraction to the same sex. And there's the actual having a homosexual lifestyle like yourself. So it's not the same thing.
I don't have a homosexual lifestyle. I have a lifestyle. I'm a dad.
I have a heterosexual lifestyle. I have a husband. That's a heterosexual lifestyle. I've had a heterosexual lifestyle, from when I can remember. However, I made that decision. I also can make a decision tomorrow if I want to be with the same sex. You can't tell me I can't. It's a preference.
Have you
it's
ever
my
had
choice.
the feelings of wanting to be with the same sex?
No, I haven't.
OK, so it's not really a decision, is it?
No,
it's
but
just you
I
living
haven't
on
had
your
those feelings because possibly I've suppressed them. I don't think it's right. So I personally haven't had those feelings because I probably haven't allowed myself to have those feelings.
How sad is that you are... You've just said you're suppressing it. It's like
I never said I suppressed it. She asked me if I had those feelings, and I said I didn't. And I said I didn't because I don't believe it's right.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that, I have suppressed them.
Tom, you were saying that you would have loved this as a primary school boy growing up.
Absolutely.
I'm sure confused about how you were feeling and what you were looking at then.
Yeah, but I didn't need to be if we were sort of spoken to at an early age.
Do your parents now look back and think it would have been great had you had that?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah, they did a great job. However, within school, and it was the 80s, the 90s, a different time. Yeah. It's not an excuse, but, this is why I started my Instagram. I've called myself the unlikely dad, but actually, I've sort of realised I'm not so unlikely. We're all sort of the same, and we're all on this journey together, be it gay, straight, bi, whatever.
Does your children have a mum?
He has a birth mum.
Right, OK,
yeah, he's adopted.
OK, so in that sense, my child was being shown posters about two mums, two dads. I don't agree with that. Why should my child, before he's actually learned about how he came into the world, already be taught that he could possibly have two mums or two dads?
Is he being taught
not true.
But he
it's not honest.
It's not honest because it's the reality of families today.
But you're saying today, why are we changing with the wind? If it was OK yesterday,
because times
then
change.
It should be OK
Seriously,
today.
it's unreal.
No, you have changed.
Yeah.
It's not the times have changed. Your ways of thinking have changed. Mine hasn't.
My way of thinking's never changed.
Why should I adjust my life to you? Why should my child adjust my life to you?
I'm not asking you to adjust your life.
Your child should attend those classes. My child doesn't need to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you worry slightly, though? I mean, what Tom's saying is that, as he's grown up, he would have really benefited from a class like this. Kate made the suggestion, how would you react if either your son or daughter suddenly decided or realised at a certain age that they might have gay tendencies or that might be their way of life? That actually the benefit they would have got because they'd have been able to process those feelings clearly if they'd been in this sort of environment. I'd imagine an environment that's very open and very secure where they can discuss it, that would have helped guide them through so then they could discuss it with you, their feelings, that actually there's a benefit to that sort of educational aspect to be taught that, do you know what, this is what's going on these days, this is very normal, there's nothing wrong with you, that actually this is...
What I want to know is what you're so scared of.
But I do understand that, but I think we're missing out the point that there's this idea that because people are objecting for it to be taught in school, then people's ideas of homosexuality are somehow homophobic. How do you know that in terms of my child's life, we go to church every Sunday and my child goes to Bible school? How do you know that these things are not discussed? How do you know that if my child ever said anything like that, how do you know that they wouldn't be in an environment where people will still show the love?
I think you said that there was right and wrong, and you think that a heterosexual relationship is right and a gay relationship is wrong. That's your beliefs. That's your religious beliefs.
Right. OK.
So your children are going to pick up on that, aren't they?
Is that not homophobic?
No, it's not homophobic. Okay. It's centering our beliefs on the relationship of a male and female. That's how our children came into this world. That's how all the children come into this world. So, no, it's not homophobic. It's just life. However, my child will grow up with that understanding. So people, ask, well, what would you do? What would you do? But at the same time, if you've been brought up like me, like my husband, like our families have been brought up with that idea, our culture is all to do with that. The idea of being gay or anything else that's different, your children will already know, in a sense, of how confident they can be because of all the other teachings. It's not all based on sexuality. There's other teachings within Christianity that will teach them confidence of how to deal with things when they are different. So that is how you'll deal with it.
OK. What do you think?
I just want to know, I think one thing we need to do as well is, and we've touched on it a little bit, is we need to stop associating your sexuality with sex. Because I want to know what you're so scared of. Because you come into my house, so what do you think goes on in my house with 2 dads and a son? We are wiping bums, we're wiping tears, we're waking up in the middle of the night, we've got Cheerios all over the floor.
It's not my business.
We are just a normal family.
But it's not I'm not taking that away from you. What I feel like you're taking away from me is I'm not trading on your rights. You are still able to be a dad, you're still able to live your family. I want to know why you're trading on my life. I want to know what you're so scared of. I've said to you, there is no public
not
crisis
scared at
for
all.
this. So why do you feel you need to push this? If you are able to
We're not pushing things. We're not pushing things. We're educating on society. There's no agenda. No agenda.
It
We
kind
just
of
want
is
to.
if you use
It's
taxpayers' money.
It's society.
If you use taxpayers' money to force something in a school, that's an agenda. You call it the government has called it an action plan. It's an agenda. Because you're using taxpayers' money to push this in school. There are so many other things that we need to be centred on.
OK,
right
we've got a statement from the Department of Education. We want pupils to know that there are many types of people and relationships, and we expect schools to teach tolerance and respect for others. It's important, however, for parents to feel sufficiently consulted when necessary. And I think that's one of your most important points, isn't it? That you want to have the right to be able to say what you would like your children to learn and understand. I think anybody can argue with that. We're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately. It's a really interesting debate, but thank you very much, Izzy and Tom, for coming in and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Cheers.